Welcome to Ludicrous Laws, the show where we dive deep into the wildest, weirdest, and most mind-boggling laws from around the world. Today, we're diving into the world of love and romance because even Cupid isn't safe from the law. In this episode, we're counting down 10 of the craziest love, dating, and marriage laws from around the world. From laws about how you're allowed to propose to outright bizarre rules about marriage traditions, these laws are guaranteed to shock you. It's so outrageous, it might just leave you questioning the meaning of love itself. So, grab some popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's kick off this countdown. Have you ever joked about popping the question to someone? Well, if you're in South Carolina, you'd better think twice because proposing as a joke is against the law. That's right. Under South Carolina's marriage statutes, it's illegal for a man over the age of 16 to propose marriage to a woman without actually intending to marry her. Why? This law was put in place to protect women from being deceived or humiliated. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While the law is rarely enforced today, it technically means that even jokingly saying, "Will you marry me?" at a party could land you in hot water. Imagine explaining to a judge that your fake proposal was just part of a drinking game. But don't go anywhere. Up next is a law that could make something as simple as holding hands a legal nightmare. If you thought laws about jokingly proposing were strict, wait until you hear this. In Pakistan, public displays of affection like holding hands or kissing in public are strictly prohibited by law. The reasoning: Pakistan's conservative culture considers PDA inappropriate and offensive to public decency. While this law is largely enforced in urban areas, couples have reportedly faced fines, public shaming, and even arrests for something as small as a hug in a park. What's even crazier is that authorities sometimes patrol public spaces, keeping an eye out for overly affectionate couples. Imagine getting fined for simply holding hands with your partner while enjoying a stroll. But don't tune out yet. Next, we'll head to Vermont, where marriage and false teeth. Yes, false teeth. Stick around, because this one's a doozy. Marriage is supposed to be forever, but what if the law actually made that a reality? In the Philippines, divorce is illegal. Yes, you heard me. If you're married in the Philippines, there's almost no way to legally end the marriage. The only exception is for Muslims, who are allowed to divorce under specific religious rules. For everyone else, the only legal option is annulment, which is a long, expensive, and complicated process that can take years to finalize. What's even wilder is that this law remains one of the strictest in the world, even in the 21st century. Couples are essentially stuck together unless they can prove their marriage was never valid in the first place. But don't go anywhere. Next, we'll talk about a law involving marriage, food, and one of the strangest fines you'll ever hear about. Alright, husbands, this one's for you. In Samoa, forgetting your wife's birthday isn't just a bad idea, it's actually illegal. Under this little-known law, men who fail to remember their wife's birthday can face fines or other penalties. The logic behind the law is that birthdays are considered a sacred family celebration, and failing to honor your spouse on their special day is seen as a serious offense. Now, while the law isn't always strictly enforced, there have been cases where men were fined for their forgetfulness. So, if you're planning a trip to Samoa, make sure to set a calendar reminder or risk getting in trouble with both your wife and the law. And trust me, the laws only get stranger from here. Stick around, because we've got a rule about love that's so outrageous, it might make you think twice about romance altogether. This one might just make you do a double take. In Kentucky, it's technically illegal to marry someone if you're already happy. Yes, you heard that right. There's a law on the books that says marriage is only for those who are in need of happiness. While this law isn't enforced, its origins are rooted in an old legal statute aimed at promoting serious unions. The idea was that marriage should serve as a remedy for loneliness, not just a way to make a happy couple happier. So, while no one's going to stop you from tying the knot in Kentucky if you're already on cloud nine, the law's existence is a bizarre reminder of how people once viewed marriage. But don't go anywhere. Next up, we've got a rule about Valentine's Day that could land you in trouble just for celebrating love. Valentine's Day is the ultimate day of love, right? Well, not in Saudi Arabia, where it's illegal for men to buy gifts like roses, chocolates, or teddy bears for their significant others during the holiday. This law stems from the country's strict interpretation of Islamic customs, which consider Valentine's Day an un-Islamic celebration. For years, authorities have cracked down on stores selling red roses or other romantic gifts in the lead up to February 14th. The punishment: shops can face heavy fines, and men caught giving romantic gifts might find themselves in hot water. However, many couples still celebrate the holiday in secret, with some even turning to black market florists to buy roses. But if you think this law is restrictive, just wait until you hear about a marriage law involving fruits. Now, let's talk about a law that takes the phrase domestic skills to a whole new level. In certain rural parts of Indonesia, there's a long-standing rule that says women must prove they can peel a banana properly before they're allowed to get married. This bizarre tradition is based on the belief that peeling a banana is a test of a woman's readiness for household responsibilities. The idea is that if you can't handle something as simple as peeling fruit, you're not ready for the challenges of marriage. While this isn't an official government law, it's enforced as a cultural norm in some communities. And yes, there have been cases where women have failed the banana test and were told they couldn't get married, at least until they practiced their peeling skills. Still think that's strange. Coming up, we'll talk about a law that could make saying I love you a criminal offense. Imagine living in a place where expressing your feelings to someone you love could actually get you in trouble. Well, in the United Arab Emirates, this is a reality. Saying I love you to someone, especially in public, can be considered indecent behavior under strict public decency laws. The reasoning behind this law ties back to the UAE's conservative culture, which emphasizes modesty and discourages romantic displays in public. While saying I love you isn't always punished, doing so in the wrong setting, like on a crowded beach or in a park, can lead to fines or even jail time in extreme cases. This law has sparked international debate, with critics arguing that it's too restrictive. But residents of the UAE are used to navigating these cultural rules to avoid trouble. And trust me, this isn't even the wildest law on our list. Coming up next is the most bizarre love law in the world, and it involves literally asking for government permission to fall in love. Alright, we've saved the most outrageous law for last. In Turkmenistan, it's illegal to fall in love or enter a relationship without first getting permission from the government. Yes, this is real. This law, introduced as part of a broader effort to control personal freedoms, requires couples to register their relationship with local authorities before they can officially date or get married. The government claims this is meant to prevent immoral behavior, but critics argue it's a massive overreach into private lives. The process involves a background check, interviews, and even proof of income to show that you're fit for a relationship. And if the government doesn't approve, well, you could face serious penalties, including fines and public shaming. Can you imagine having to ask for permission to fall in love? It's the kind of law that makes you appreciate the freedom to date and marry whoever you choose without government interference. So, next time someone complains about how hard dating is, remind them it could be worse. You could be in Turkmenistan. And that's a wrap on our countdown of the 10 craziest love, dating, and marriage laws in the world. Which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week's episode, where we'll uncover even more strange and surprising laws from around the globe. Until then, stay curious and stay legal, especially in love.